EJC Contracts are currently in partnership with Virgin Media, delivering ultra-fast Virgin Media fibre as part of Project Lightening. Project Lightening is the single biggest investment in the United Kingdom's digital infrastructure in more than a decade, and we here at EJC Contracts are extremely proud to be representing the Virgin Media brand. Knowing that our behaviour and interaction can affect sales, it is vital that a good perception of the brand is delivered straight from the start. At least one operative in every crew is in possession of a Streetworks card, and this ensures that all sites are compliant with the new Roads and Streetworks Act at all times in regards to sign lighting and guarding, excavation of the highways, compaction of backfill, and the final reinstatement of all surfaces. Sites are set up to protect members of the public and provide access and egress for them where required to minimise disruption to their daily routines and allow a smooth transition through the site. It is imperative that any traffic management required for the works, such as robo-boards or traffic lights, are checked to be functioning correctly before they are put out onto the highway. Good environmental practices need to be demonstrated on site at all times. The covering of drains is one way in which we can ensure we protect the waterways and wildlife. Waste segregation is also carried out on site, complying with the parameters set out by the Environmental Agency. Utility strikes can be dangerous and potentially life-threatening. They also add additional cost and downtime to work. Using the latest technology and service locators, the Vivax V-Scan, all intended areas of excavation are surveyed in power, radio and Jenny modes to accurately locate all existing utilities. The Vivax has a Bluetooth capability which automatically sends information up to a cloud, allowing the Health and Safety Department at EJC instant access to the data for live analysis. This gives them a real-time visual on digging crews' practices out on the ground and allows them to spot trends and proactively offer advice if needed. It is very important to use the Jenny in conjunction with the scanner to maximise the potential of the cable locator. Once earthed and linked into the scanner, the Jenny will induce a pulse into a cable, broadening its signal. This will enhance the accuracy of the locator and its ability to pinpoint exact cable locations and depths. Risk assessments are carried out daily, with photographs taken before and after works take place. Once the intended route is selected, it is sprayed up with environmentally friendly paint prior to any saw cutting taking place. Wherever feasible, tracks are kept as straight as possible. Correct PPE is worn at all times, especially when saw cutting. Face-fitted masks, ear defenders, safety glasses and anti-vibration gloves are fitted prior to cutting to protect the operative from noise, flying debris, vibration and silicosis. Once cutting commences, a continuous supply of water is applied to the cutting blade. Water suppression is used to encapsulate the dust and protect everyone in the vicinity of the works. Silica dust is harmful to our lungs and airways, so it is vitally important that we manage this risk carefully and safeguard the health of both operatives and members of the public. Insulated digging tools are used to excavate trial holes. Trial holes are hand dug and are used to ascertain factors such as the location and depth of any existing utilities. Plus, it provides an indication of the depth of the existing reinstatement surface. The trial hole can also be useful in giving the crew an idea of the makeup of the ground they are planning to excavate. Grab support is always on hand to support the digging crews with the delivery of dust and stone, as well as the removal of any excavated material. Narrow trenching allows us to build more quickly and more cheaply, with less waste and disruption. A banksman is always in place to observe any digging with a mechanical excavator, with the cable locator also kept in close proximity for regular surveys. Bedding is laid in the trench prior to the microbores being laid. It is important to note that in the footway the microbore must have a minimum of 250 millimetres of cover. This measurement extends to 450 millimetres in the carriageway. Microduct bundles are held together at a minimum distance of 3 metres once laid in the track, and are weighed down with dust in the trench to ensure they remain in place as progress is made. Microducts must be binded by a suitable granular material to prevent damage to the microducts. Binding must cover the surface below and a minimum of 50 millimeters above the microducts. If microbore connectors are required to be used, then the microbores must be fully inserted into the connector to create a good seal so not to affect the blown fibre cable installation. If not fitted correctly, this will lead to problems at the installation phase, as the fibre will likely hit the internal flange, causing remedial works and potentially delaying the customer's virgin media experience. End caps must be installed at the end of the microduct as soon as Toby boxes and cabinets are in place. If not used, water and dirt will get into the microduct, causing cable installation issues. Marker tape must be installed in the trench above the 50 millimeters of cover. Once a Toby box position is finalised and ready to be put in position, it is carefully set in concrete to solidify its positioning. When reinstating, time is taken to ensure that all works comply with the parameters set out by the Highway Authority and Utilities Committee, HAUC. This can include cutbacks to existing ironworks within 6 inches of our track, or indeed any current poor reinstatement that has unfortunately become dislodged or damaged whilst carrying out our works. When possible, the grab lorry can be used to support the digging crew in the civils operation by setting backfill into the trench. The grab will also remove the excavated material that is to be taken to landfill. All tracks are compacted in accordance with the regulations stated and set out by the Highway Authority and Utilities Committee. Correct PPE is worn during compaction to protect the operative as much as possible from the dangers of noise and vibration. EJC Contracts operate on a fixed price model and constantly need to watch costs so as to maximise our profit margin. Modified depth gauge shovels are used to ensure that excessive materials are not used during the final reinstatement process. Clegg testing and depth checks are carried out daily on sites, and all results are recorded. Not only does this quality check ensure that correct specifications are being met, it also protects both the EJC Contracts and Virgin Media brands. This procedure drastically reduces the chance of any sinkage and can only enhance the brand's reputation. Edge sealer is applied to the track before any tarmac enters the trench. Reinstatement is the final coat on the works, and ultimately the standard of this reinstatement can have a detrimental effect on sales. All reinstatement works are carried out in accordance with the parameters set out in the New Roads and Streetworks Act and by the Highways Authority and Utilities Committee. Both base and wearing courses are subjected to the correct amount of passes depending on the particular surface type and specification. Poor reinstatement will undoubtedly put residents off taking service, whereas a good quality top coat can only aid potential penetration rates and hopefully make the job of the salesman that little bit easier. Time is taken by the reinstatement crews to ensure a safe and tidy finish is left for residents, as ultimately when we hand their street back to them, we do not need any negative publicity towards EJC Contracts or the Virgin Media brand. Perception is, as you have no doubt seen in this presentation, extremely important to us here at EJC Contracts, and using the road sweeper on completion of the works only adds to the positive feedback we continue to receive throughout our builds. Producing high-quality work means we won't need to do it again. Reducing defects and failed customer installs protects the brand's reputation and financial performance. May Project Lightning continue to go from strength to strength.